All right, let's get started. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here again at the AI Skills Challenge. My name is Jorge Maia, and today we will talk briefly about how much does an AI project typically cost. And the idea today is to not to the idea today is not only answer one question for you. So I want to take some ideas, and then I want to present some questions for you to ask not only the technical people but also the stakeholders to become more fluid this idea of how much does it cost, and that's a key point for this, right? Because when we talk about AI project, we are not talking only about the development part of the solution. So we have several topics to discuss, and the first one is the hardware. So an AI needs the hardware to run the model, to run the training, to run the inference. And when we talk about inference today, we can do it at the edge, right? So we can use small microcontrollers to run the inference, and it's really good as well, but it has costs. And not only hardware, we talk also about the idea of the software development, right? And when we have the software development, we have software costs. And it's not only development. We are talking here about tools, we are talking here about frameworks, about the cost of acquisition of it. And one good stuff that we today is the idea of AI cloud-based services. So this is a good option for us, and we have this as a service. In some cases, we already have this as an API, an example, that we can just point to, send our data, and receive back the inference. And it's also because we do not have to develop, we do not have to train, we do not have to test. So it's pretty good. But in some cases, we have to develop that, and it's another cost of the solution, right? Another thing, data acquisition and management, because it's not only about, oh, I will take data from a sensor, I will take data from a database, I will take data from another system, and I will integrate my project with other systems. Fine, that's good. But the data is a core component of this AI project. And we have not only costs for collecting, so we have costs for storing, managing, and depending on the volume, use it. You should use it on prem, or you should use and point it to the cloud. That really depends. And in some cases, it requires tools and professionals to clean, to organize, to secure. And in example, if you are using a computer vision software to detect PPE equipment, you need a database. You need a data set of pictures with tags. How you will find it? You will take pictures from your field and take it. You will take too long, and maybe it will not. You do not have none that you need to have a trust system after training and all stuff, right? And maybe it's cheaper. You go to the market and buy this. And you have synthetic data today that you can create just to train models. That's the cost that you should think about it, right? Model development. This phase involves salaries and of data scientists, machine learning engineers, and other technical stuff. And have complexity on this one. But you can also use cloud to accelerate these and reduce time spent on go to market. That's a good idea, right? And another phase of the project is the testing and deployment. So after a model is developed, you must test that. In some cases, you already have a data set with it, and you can split the data set and use it. But in some cases, you don't. In some cases, you do not have images or data for fail. You do not have the positions of, okay, it's working. I have this data, but I never ever had a problem. How can I do this? So in some cases, on the testing phase, you will face with this problem. So this stage might involve simulation and test environments. Here we can talk about a digital twin generating data to test this algorithm, to test these models. So we have in some cases to replicate the real world operation conditions. That's it's not easy. For sure, it's not easy. So it's another that you take in your mind on that. Maintenance and updates. AI systems require regular updates. And this includes retraining models. Listen, you have a great system. It's working very well. It's inferring everything you need, but you put some new use cases inside it. So you have to retrain that. And when you have to retrain that, you have costs. When you do this, you have to test it again and you have to deploy it again. And in some cases, you have a nuance of change on the answer. When you have this, you have to train your people now. It's not only about the model and the solution. We are talking about humans using that. So you have to train these guys about here is we changed that. It's giving us another level of features. And here we're talking about software, optimizing hardware again. Then it's crucial for our solution because we have and we need the evolution of these solutions, right? Another thing that I talked brief little before now is the training and the support. So we have to ensure our staff can use that. So we involve training of human. We involve development costs of human resources. They should understand what we are doing. They should be side by side with the solution, not against the solution. Like, hey, it will take my job. I will not use this. And that's a key point when we develop and deploy an AI solution. We should train our people to use that, to understand that is a tool that will become our corporation healthier, strongest, using that ahead of the innovation. So that's the point. And the support costs might also include hiring specialized personnel. So we have to support the solution also, not only train the people. Okay, it's another thing that you take care about costs and compliance and security for sure. GPDR, security, crucial for sensitive data. We have to put some effort on cybersecurity. We have to monitor our solution. We have to monitor our systems that acquires data from the field and give it to the training pipelines. Because if we do not rely on the data from the field, what will happen? Garbage in, garbage out. That's the truth when we talk about AI, right? And the very end for me is the idea of scaling and infrastructure expansion. So that's the end of our planning idea for costs. And why I should take care about that? Because when I say it's working, when everybody's using that, I need to scale. And when I need to scale, I have costs involved. And if my solution is not prepared for that, the costs will be higher. And if since the beginning I know that and I understand what is the scope of use of the solution, man, it's a it's not easy at all. An AI solution is not easy, but I can say that it's easiest than if you do not have, have this information before you start. So it's not the total information. It's not about, oh, I have to plan everything. No, if you try to do this, you never take your project from the paper. But I have to understand where I can go, where I want to stay after the solution becomes live, if I can say live, for an AI solution. Okay, and here I take some thought-provoking questions for you, because it's easy to come here and say, "Oh, you have these phases, you have these problems," and okay, if you were doing this, and we are doing this on IoT ecospace, and and using this in some factories, smart buildings, agriculture, and others here, uh, how you were planning this? We are using some questions. I take some here for you to just provoking the stakeholders, maybe not the technical guys, but the stakeholders, because I need to understand why this AI project or solution is important. So some questions for you. What are these AI projects primary business objectives? With this I can understand tons of things. Maybe I can go this way or not. Maybe this is very important and I'm talking about reducing costs, and I can hire some more people. I can do this as fast as I need or not. Oh, it's important for us, but I don't know. We are looking more for innovation potential of it, but some people here doesn't agree with that. We have to create this idea inside the company, so we have to put the foot on the brakes and say, "Oh, good, let's start. Let's start small, and then we grow." Okay. And another question: how do you envision the AI solution integrated with the business process? Are you enhancing the customer experiences? That's some points to understand where the technology will be used, and why this technology will be used. So talk about hardware. Do you have an existing technology infrastructure? That's a good question. Yes, I do. I have a cluster here for storage. I have that. I have some licenses of software, so we can't use a cloud on this. But if I have cloud and it's cheaper than put inside on-prem, that's better. So another question: are there specific software tools or platform that you want us to consider? Because in some cases they have agreements with some suppliers. Maybe why not? And you should take care about, oh, let's change everything. Let's do an extreme makeover here and put all new. In some cases, for sure, you can do this and you have to do this. But why not to hear that, to understand where you're going with this project and how can you help your client on the end? Okay. About data, What sources of data do you currently have access? Because in some cases, we heard tons of this problems here about I can acquire data from my assets. It's easy, George. It's easy to do. No problem about that. And when we talk and said, do you really have access to it? Oh, we have to talk with the developers because in our contract they give us a platform and they integrate the platform with our ERP, and I don't know if they can give us the near real time data. Then you have a problem in your hand. You have to handle it because if you need that, how can you do this? Costs. In some cases, you will tell the client about, man, can we change the developers? Can we change the supplier of it? Maybe. Why not? So there are some concerns or specific data privacy that we must address this project. Some internal compliance that we have to handle. And maybe it's not a market standard, but you have to do this for this client, right? And you should take care about that. About the development and deployment strategies, what timeline expectations do you have? Because no, we are looking for the next quarter. It's different. We are looking to the next year, and we can start. We have time to acquire data, to prepare the data sets, to train the models. We do not have to do this in a full throttle, right? So, can you describe what is a successful scenario for an AI solution in our or in your operations? You should know what is the expectations, right? Do you have any concerns about acceptance from the manager or workers? That's a key point. You will, in some cases, we are developing something that is new. And when we talk about new things, we talk about fear. Hey, it will change our quality. Hey, it will take some jobs. Hey, if it fails, how can we do this? And you should handle this on the project. So you have to prove the confidence of the information generated by the inference. You should prove to everyone that it is a good solution. Okay? I'm not talking about 100% proof of, no, we're not talking about that. We know that we will fail. We know that. In some cases, we will fail, small or big. But we have to understand the risks because in some cases, the users are our biggest risk. Okay? About maintenance, training, and support. Once the AI solution is deployed, what are your expectations? But not your expectations about the solution. We asked this before, but now what are your expectations for maintenance? Frequency of updates. Hey, George, listen, I need, because I need to retrain the model. In some cases, the client doesn't know what is a training the model, but they know about, I have new products coming every day. And I have to detect if I have problems on it. So I need updates every day. And in some cases, they are talking they need updates, but they don't need updates. And you know that. You know that we have to understand what they are talking about and how can we help them to solve their problems. Not taking the terms by the book, correct? What level of training do you think will be necessary for your team, for our team, to effectively use the AI solution? Hey, go from the beginning with people. No, here is we have some technician here, and it's okay if you go faster with them because you have to plan your training, correct? Another thing, budget and cost management. Hey, do you have allocated budget for this AI project? There are limits. Do you have some expenses that you should not do on a model? Here we can talk about capex and opex. Do you have some budget to acquire hardware? You have to acquire hardware? Yes, I do. So you can go to the cloud with this. And you can do a hybrid solution using cloud and using on-prem for some and using inside the data center, correct? So that's the thing. And when we talk about scale, how do you foresee the solution? Here we are talking not to your client say for you, hey man, I'm thinking you should put more GPUs over here, more TPUs on the field for my microcontrollers. We are not asking this. We are asking about, hey, what and how you foresee the AI solution scale to meet your future business needs. Hey, I'm looking to open new stores, and inside these new stores I want to take care about the shelves using AI and cameras, using computer vision. That's the idea here. And you can plan and said, hey, listen, we have to be ready to open new stores, and how often it happens. What is your outlook for that, man? Oh, I want to do this in some months, in some years. That's right. So here are some questions for you. I'm so sorry if I do not take the answers, and if you believe we take an answer here, I take the answer. I took some questions for you to try to help you on this journey of creating an AI solution and to to understand the costs better of this solution. Okay, it was a pleasure to be here. I will put now a QR code here on the screen, and you can find me on the social networks. I also want to invite you to my learning room here in Microsoft Learn community, and happy learning for you. I'm here to help if I can help you in anything. Thank you very much for your audience. Nossa internet caiu.